This week's BBC Introducing Track of the Week, As I Am Now by George Boomsma from North Allerton, written after visiting his great-great-uncle Donald's grave, who died in the Somme in 1916. George realised that he is now the same age as Donald was when he died. For the best in new and local music, tune into BBC T's Introducing with Bob Fisher every Saturday evening from 8 o'clock. But do you know how many people from Middlesbrough lost their lives fighting in the First World War? It was over 3,000. And at one school in Middlesbrough, they spent this week paying tribute to the 3,137 people from the town who lost their lives in the conflict. Our reporter for BBC T's, Anna Snowden, went to Acklam Grange School to find out more.
Hello, my name's Abigail and I'm in Year 9.
Hello, my name's Romy and I'm in Year 8.
Hello, my name's Laura and I'm in Year 8.
Abby, tell me a little bit about what's happening today, because I know stuff has been happening all across the week, but you, Romy and Laura, have a very special task to take upon today. Tell me a little bit about what's going on this morning.
So basically what's happening this morning is that we've got a ceremony and it's gone on for I think a few years. I've done it for 2 and for us for 5 as reading Flanders Field out.
So tell me, Romy, a little bit about the poem that you're going to read today.
Yeah, we are reading the Flanders Field poem in front of everyone who's come to see our service, and we've been practising this for a few weeks now, so we'll hopefully get it right.
What practice have you done?
We've got it on YouTube and make sure we've got the same speed and making sure that we're slowing it down.
Did you know about Flanders Field, the poem, before you started reading it?
Yeah, I knew about the poem, but I didn't know any of the lines.
So tell me a little bit about the poem and what it's about. I know people at home will know it, but what have you learnt from it?
We've learnt it was about, I think it was a doctor who was in the war and his friend had died, so he was writing a poem about it, so it was very meaningful to him.
And Laura, how shocked were you to find out that so many people from Middlesbrough not only fought in the First World War, but, sadly lost their lives?
It was quite upsetting when I first found out, thinking if I went to war, some families got upset because the loved ones didn't come home from war, and it was quite upsetting for them and upsetting for us now.
You guys have held a Remembrance Week all week, really thinking about not only the people from Middlesbrough who were in the First World War, but everyone else. So tell me a little bit about what you guys at Acklam Grange have been doing all week.
We've been collecting death certificates from the people who went to war and didn't come back, and people from the community have been coming in, and we've been finding information about them from their loved ones, and we've just been helping out with all the death certificates and with the project we've been doing.
And Abby, I hear that there is a fantastic wall of poppies as well, and there's poppies all over the school. Tell me a little bit about that.
So that's been going on for I think about 3 or 2 years, and they're just made out of clay, so there's loads planted, and then obviously the wall's been they're stuck on poppies.
Just tell me a little bit about how the wall looks I know this is radio, so we have to be very descriptive. So what does the wall look like?
It just looks really good because there's loads of poppies, and the Flanders Fields, the poem's in the middle of it, and there's just really loads of poppies.
So Romy, how many people are going to be attending this ceremony today?
I think it's around 3,000.
3,000 people here to watch you today. How are we feeling ahead of it?
Quite nervous, but I'm looking forward to it.
I guess it's a real honour, isn't it, girls, to kind of stand upon that stage and talk to people who are here today who maybe had relatives who fought in the war and lost their lives. How proud are you to kind of be part of this?
Really proud.
Yeah, very proud and honoured.
It's a good thing to represent our school to do this.
You guys are reading a poem. What else is going to happen during today's assembly?
There'll be a speech from some of our teachers, and there'll be a song and some music by some other community members.
And how important, Romy, do you think it is to keep remembering the people who did lose their lives, not just here in Middlesbrough, but elsewhere? Because it's 100 years on, a long time, but we're still talking about it.
I think it's very important, especially if you have relatives that fought in the war. It's very meaningful to you, and I think we should always remember it.
Have any of you guys discovered that you had relatives who fought in the war? Yeah, tell me a bit about that.
My mum's nana, her husband, went to war. He came back, but then later on, I think he went back to war and hurt his leg, and then after that, he died.
What was that like, learning about his history?
It was very interesting, and my nana used to tell me all these stories and I'd want to know more. Then this has helped because know more history about other families and how they've had to deal with it.
Our reporter Anna Snowden at Acklam Grange School for BBC Tees.